All right, Monday morning in the shop. It's a little chilly this morning, but we're about to get it done. I'm about to start working on finishing a big batch of folders that I've been working on. I've got some hand polishing to do on the ones that are getting Hamones. They have to be polished out. Luke will be in a little while to start working on some McNees orders, getting those engraved and jimped and all that good stuff and sent out. We've got some other laser engraving projects going on with some retailers that we got to get out for their Black Friday sale. We got fixed blades close to going out. Should be going out this week because we got the sheaths came in Saturday. The leather sheaths that I had done for them. So we're rolling this week. We're rolling. It's a good thing it's Thanksgiving, so we got to do a lot in a compressed amount of time. So it's going to be a good week. We'll see how it goes, and you guys just follow along. Let's see what we can get into.
Again.
So what I'm doing now is polishing folder blades. I heat treated these with clay. This one is in W2, so it's heat treated with clay to produce a Hamon, but it needs to be polished out to make it show. So what I'm doing is hand polishing it. So what I wanted to show you guys was these stones that I'm using. They're a Falcon 400. Of course, it's backwards on the screen right now, but anyway, Falcon Tool Company. I'm using 400 grit SE stone. So anyway, these things are an absolute game changer when it comes to polishing. I used to do it with just paper, but I dip it in just a little bit of oil. I actually use some synthetic motor oil, but I've tried other oils and they all seem to work pretty decent. So it seems to work better wet, and then you just go to town, and it is a drastic difference in the speed of removing the scratches from the belt grinder. Also is easier to keep everything kind of crisp and stuff. It doesn't tend to round the edges and blend everything together as much. It keeps it kind of sharp and crisp. So anyway, yeah, if you're using paper for sanding, now I do go back and do like my final polish with paper. But at that point, it's easy. It's just kind of scratch refinement. You're not really removing much of anything. So if you're doing a lot of hand sanding, hand polishing, and not using stones yet, I'd highly recommend to get some stones because they are worth their weight in gold. So. Well, I ended up with a little bit of help on the laser this afternoon that I wasn't necessarily expecting. My daughter Hannah has made it home from school. She's working with me a little bit. She actually worked with me on the laser some before Luke did, so she's in working on some stuff for me back there, getting some business cards and stuff done up. So we're back on track, making some pretty good progress, and I'm still over here hand polishing blades, but hopefully I'm about to get done with that and we can move on. So. Well, pretty pissed at myself right now. I was hand sanding this blade. Yep, I'm still hand sanding. Had this side completely done. This side had the entire bevel done and just needed to do the fuller and the flats. And was having a hard time getting in there with the stone to really get the fuller good. So I decided to speed things up a little bit and use a ball cutter on this handheld Fordham, and it worked great until I slipped and it came off and ran down on the blade. Not a huge deal except for the fact that I had to go back to the grinder, grind that out. That ended up pushing the grind line a little higher on this side, which means I had to go back to the other side that was already done, grind it a little more to bring the grind line up to match. So now I'm basically back to square one. I do at least still have the flat and the fuller on this side looking pretty good. So there's that. So back to that. I'm actually probably going to take a quick break and for my body and my mind's sake, and do something else for a few minutes. Find another project to work on besides just hand rubbing these things, because just about at my wit's end with them for the moment. So see what else I can get into for a minute. Well, that's wrapping Monday up for me. I'm about to head up to the house. I'll probably do a little more work. Definitely be answering some messages on Instagram and that sort of thing. But I ain't gonna lie, today kind of sucked. Most of my days don't suck too bad. Today kind of sucked, and it was strictly due to all the hand polishing I was doing. And I'm still not done. I've got one more back here that I got to finish up. Truth be told, I had 4 blades to do. I should probably have done a couple, and then moved on, done some other processes on some of the other knives, getting them closer to finished, and then gone back to do the other couple to break it up. But to be honest, I'm just too damn hard-headed. I get to go and I want to get them done, and I ended up doing them. I bounced on some other things a little bit today, but for the most part, that's what I did pretty much all day, was hand polish knives. So tomorrow morning I'll try to get that last one knocked on out, and then I can start moving on to doing the finishes on the other blades. None of the rest of them are getting hand rubbed. They're all either getting machine satin or acid wash or stone wash. So none of those will be too bad. And all the frames are already blasted and tumbled. Just got to do whatever anodizing and engraving and stuff that I'm going to do, and get those going. So they're close. Get that last blade done, and I'll be real close to the finish line. Got Chase coming in tomorrow. That's going to be great. And we'll get some stuff done on some fixed blades. Going to let him help me actually get some fixed blades finished up and get ready to ship out, that we've been working on for probably a month or so now, off and on. So anyway, we'll hit that tomorrow and try to get that last blade knocked out, and I'll be a happy man after that. So we'll see how it goes. Alright, it's Tuesday morning in the shop. We're a little bit late getting the camera up and running here today, but we've already been going for a little bit. But got Luke back here running the laser, getting some stuff going for one of our big retailers. I've been still trying to finish up the hand polishing on this blade. I've got Chase should be here in a little while to start working on some fixed blade stuff. We're going to get a batch of those sharpened up and put in sheaths. I got the sheaths in from my guy. We're going to put those sheathed up, boxed up, ready to ship out, and continue marching on. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes here. So far, so good. Okay, so what you guys just saw me doing there with the sharpening was I took a used 120 grit belt, popped a burr up on it with that, went back with a leather belt, put a little green rouge on it, knocked the burr off of it with that, stropping it, went another pass or two just to give it just a tiny little bit of polish, not much. I like a good toothy edge. So then just clean the rouge off with a paper towel and some oil. Make sure it's slicing good with some thin newsprint type paper. I think that's actually a Smoky Mountain Knife Works catalog. So that's it. Pretty simple. Makes a nice, good, sharp, toothy edge, and that's just the way I like it. Woo! Where we at? Where we at? All right, well, things are still going pretty good. I am real close to having this last blade finished polishing up. Can't wait to be done with that. I'm about to have to take a little break and run one of my pups to the vet. So I will go do that and then get back in the groove here. It's just one of those things, you know, sometimes you got to take a minute out and take care of other life stuff besides just work. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'll check back in a little bit and we'll get back on it. Well, made it back from the vet. Got everything taken care of. Took a little longer than I wanted, but that's life. So, going to get back at it now. I'm going to fix and sharpen up one of these little fixed blade drop points we've been working on. I got the sheaths in like I mentioned before, so I'm going to get one sharpened completely up, get a picture with the sheath and all, so I can send it to the dealer that they're going to go to. Make sure he's happy with them before we send them out. Then after that, back on the folders and get that last blade finished up, and then I can start on the finishing processes on them. So I also, if you notice, that's gorgeous. It's actually a pretty day today. It's getting ready to probably rain, but temperature is good. I love it when I'm able to get in here and open the doors up on both ends of the shop, let the air come through. Feels a lot less like a cave in here and then, so that's pretty nice. So I'll get to sharpening here and we'll get on with it. Finally, done with the polishing. Now we can get going and move on to some other steps. Alright, so what I'm doing now is starting to clean up some of these blades and stuff for kind of their final finish. This one's getting a machine satin finish, so I'm going back over it with a 400 grit Trizac belt, and then I'm going to hit it with a Scotch-Brite belt to just give it a nice smooth finish. So we'll knock that out, and then we'll go over and I'll show you how I do the flats. They're actually technically hand sanded, but even though I'm calling it a machine finish. But anyway, we'll do this and then I'll go show you that. Alright, so that's got a nice smooth satin finish on the bevels. Okay, so what I'm doing over here, just got a piece of 400 grit wet dry paper on a granite surface plate, and I'm just going to I had actually done this and gotten it pretty clean before I took it over and did the bevels. I go back and do a few more passes because that Scotch-Brite wheel tends to kind of leave like a little buff line sort of thing at the top of the bevel. So go back and do just a few more passes on each side by hand to smooth back out that satin finish on the flats. Like I said, I call it a machine satin. It's technically kind of half and half. It's machine satin on the bevels and hand satin on the flats, but I just call it a machine satin. I could do this on the surface grinder, but it's just honestly easier and quicker to me to do it like this and really get a good fine finish on it. Okay, now if I'm lucky, I'll be able to keep it looking like that until I get it put together. Chances are I'll have to hit it a couple more times on there one last time before I do like the final assembly, so we'll see how good I do with that. So what I'm working on right now is some graphic design stuff on the computer. I've got folders running through the tumbler. They've been anodized. A couple of them are getting some laser engraved touches, so that's what I'm working on now. I think this should be the last one. I'm working on trying to come up with what I'm going to put on it. And then be moving on to, in the morning, I'll be putting the acid to the ones that get Hamones, and I've got a couple of that are going to get just acid etched, like acid washed. So be getting to play with acid in the morning first thing. So try to get this worked up and we'll call it quits before too long tonight. It's already almost 8 o'clock, so pulling a little bit of a late one tonight because of the time out we had to take earlier for the trip to town and stuff. So anyway, get this worked up and see what we can wrap up for tonight. Wednesday morning in the shop. Getting ready to get a big day kicked off here so we can get a lot done before Thanksgiving tomorrow. Looking forward to that. So we got I've got to get those folder frames re-blasted, anodized, and tumbled because I wasn't happy with the finishes last night. Try to figure out what was going on with that. Luke's coming in. He's got a couple of big projects to wrap up on the laser because I've got a big shipment that I need to send out today to get to a retailer for their Black Friday sale. And I really need to get some fixed blades that I've been working on sharpened up today. So quite a bit to do. Chase is hopefully going to be able to come in today. We're not 100% sure yet. So, and then also I wanted to say happy birthday to my daughter today. It's her birthday today, and a little bit later she'll be getting a knife today. Ever since I started doing this, my kids every year for their birthday, I build them a birthday knife to kind of commemorate their birthday with a knife. So I'll try to get it and show it later today of what we did for her. So that's it. We'll get going here and see how much progress we can make today, and hopefully we'll have a good day. Luke's over here knocking out money clips. Jerry's holding down the fort here.
The real CEO.
So I'm doing is heating up the acid to do the acid etch to bring out the hamons and the ones that are getting the acid wash. So I like to do it outside as much as possible so I don't get the fumes and stuff in the shop. Less likely to spill it and make a mess in there. So super simple little setup. Just got a couple of fire bricks, holding up a old green bean can. I've got a metal ring down the bottom of there that the jar of acid sits on. Keep it up off the bottom, and then just put a little flame to it underneath there with some water in there. Let it get heated up by the water, and once it comes up to the right temp, then I'll come out and start etching the blades in them. So pretty simple setup. Looks kind of like a meth lab or something, but it's innocent. All right, so here's where I'm at right now. Got the order of stuff for the laser engraving that I need to get out today. Luke worked on it as much as he could while he was here. Then he had to go. He still works another job. Just works for me two and a half hours every morning. So now I'm having to take time out to go back and forth with the laser and let stuff be running, and stuff still needs to be packed up and shipped and all that. And all of that are things that I could pretty easily have somebody else doing, like Luke or somebody else. But I'm having to do it because there's nobody else to do it right now. And the problem with that is my time would actually be much better spent working on this batch of full-blown custom folders over here than working on this stuff that somebody else could do that doesn't have the experience and stuff that I do with the folders. So trying to make it all run at the same time, and right now I don't have enough people to keep it all running. So this is kind of becoming an ongoing thing, and so I feel like pretty soon I'm going to have to try to talk Luke into figuring out a way to get more hours in here, or find somebody else to pitch in and help too, or something. So just one of those growing pains with the business. I knew it was coming, and we'll figure it out pretty quickly, and we'll go from there. All right, guys, I'm wrapping up Wednesday evening, stopping a little bit early today so we can take our daughter out for dinner for her birthday. Tomorrow's Thanksgiving, so probably won't work tomorrow. Might sneak in an hour or two in the morning. We'll see. Depends on what all the family is doing. So we'll see about that. But it was a good day today. It was a really good day. Finally I've got everything coming together on these folders. Got a couple of them pretty much put together and ready for marking and sharpening, and the rest of them are not far behind, just all the little details anodizing the screws, little tune-up things. So that's going really good. The engraving stuff was good today that Luke was doing, and I finished up some of the stuff that he didn't quite get done. Got in some bottle openers that are coming down the line that I'm pretty excited about. Pry bar bottle openers, I should say. I'm pretty excited about those. Got those in from my guy that does the laser cutting on them. Stoked about those. I think that's about it, guys. We'll pick back up probably Friday. We'll see how tomorrow goes, and I hope all you guys. I know it's by the time you see this, it'll be after Thanksgiving. So I hope all you guys had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I appreciate everybody tuning in and watching. And I'll see you when I get back to the shop. All right, Friday morning in the shop, day after Thanksgiving. We're back in here getting after it this morning. Luke's back here hiding somewhere, packing stuff up. He's been lasering the crap out of stuff this morning. I got folders on the bench here, working on getting them wrapped up. Plan on having them all completely done by the end of the day today. So we're gonna get it here. I think it's just gonna be me and Luke today, as far as I know. He'll be here for another hour or so, and then it'll be just me. But we're gonna get as much done as we possibly can and try to have a great day here. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, guys, I'm back from lunch. Getting ready to do, got a Damascus clip. Getting ready to heat color this baby, so I thought we'd show that. It's pretty simple. Trick is to, if you're going for a specific look, like for kind of specific colors, sometimes you want to keep it a little more bronze looking, sometimes I want to really bring out the blues or kind of stay in that purple range. So just a matter of kind of knowing when to stop. Pretty much a no-brainer to get the color. You just keep heating it, and it's gonna start to pop with color. But if you're going for kind of a specific look, then that's when you got to kind of have a little control with your flame. Now I'm concentrating a little more here on this end first, because it's thicker, and the rest of it that's thin won't take as long to heat up. So I start getting the thicker part heated up first, and then bring the thinner part along with it. So I keep it pretty even. See if I can get it where you can see a little better on the camera here. So it's still pretty much just bronze right now. Starting to get a little purple coming in. I don't know if the lighting is going to really let you see very good, but all right. Now this one I am wanting to kind of get into the blues, so we're going to go ahead and take it on past a little past the purple, so that purple starts kind of becoming more blue. Oh yeah. There we go. So now it's pretty much there. Just going back, and there's a couple of places where maybe it didn't get totally even, where I still want that blue to get a little more purple, or the purple to get a little more blue. That's what I really meant. And that's pretty good. So now, it doesn't really matter. Sometimes I quench it if I've got some water handy, or I lay it to the side on a piece of aluminum or something, let it cool off. But there you can see that's what we got. The amazing stuff about this stuff is the trick is when they make it. Like, it's not that hard to bring the colors out in it. It's when they make it that's all the magic happens. Of course, you got to get a good finish on it and all that as a maker. But the guys that make that's Damascus from Alpha Knife Supply, and they do all the magic on their end of making that alloy, and so it's really cool stuff. I think that's the only other piece of Damascus that's going on these last couple. So I'll heat color some of the other hardware, the thumb studs and stuff like that, but they're not anything too crazy. I'll probably just heat them up to kind of a bronze with maybe just a hint of purple in them to kind of match the bronze and purple and blue in the clip there. So anyway, we'll move on to some more processes shortly. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm just taking my cordless drill. I'm chucking up this was a stop pin. I'm just chucking it up and hitting it on the Scotch-Brite wheel over here to just clean up to get a nice smooth clean finish on the ends of the stop pins. The way that I do them, the ends of the stop pins really don't show very much at all, but still that little bit that peeks through, I want to make sure that it looks good. So go ahead and clean it up. So where I shorten them on the grinder with the belt, don't want to leave those scratches in there. I want to put a nice little satin Scotch-Brite finish on it. And I do the same thing. I did the same thing already on the one pair of the thumb studs. I'm going to hit the other pair there. These also, these were like pre-bought thumb studs, but I brought them down to length. I didn't want them as long as they were. If they get too long, they hang out too much beyond the kind of the frame of the knife, and they'll want to catch on your pants pockets as you pull it out. So I'm trying to, I shortened them down a little bit, and because I did, there's some scratches from the belt grinder, so just smooth those out, and this will make sure that I don't end up with any, I don't want any sharp edges on out here at the end of the thumb stud, so when your thumb is catching it, that it's hitting kind of a rounded edge instead of a sharper edge. That's always important. So yeah, just, you can't really see it good, but just clean those up, and these will still get possibly, actually on at least one of these they'll get on the wire wheel, because I did a wire wheel finish on the pivot and pivot screw, so I'll do a wire wheel finish on the thumb studs to match that. This other one got the one that one goes with actually got a engraved diamond plate finish on the pivot, so I'm probably not going to do that on the thumb studs because they're so small that it just wouldn't look right. Either the pattern would have to be so small, or there would be hardly any of the pattern on there. So basically, these will probably get cleaned up just a little bit more and then heat colored, so to go with the rest of the knife. So that's that. Just another little step in the process. There's a lot of these little steps, and especially this finishing part of these folders. So that's how I do that. Okay, well, that's going to wrap the week up. It's Friday evening, knocking off a little earlier today than I normally do. We're going to try to do a little decorating for Christmas and stuff this evening, so got some family time planned for this evening, so going to go enjoy that. Didn't get quite as much done as I wanted to, which is pretty much always the case. I always have real high hopes, and they don't always pan out quite as good as I want them to, but that's all right. Got quite a bit done. It was a good week, short week, Thanksgiving and all this week, and so I imagine the footage is going to be a little shorter this week also, considering that we didn't really work a full week. So we'll be back to it next week, and I want to thank you guys for watching. I got a lot of great feedback after the last video, which was very encouraging because I really didn't know if anybody even wanted to see this stuff. So that's pretty cool, and bear with me. We'll try to keep making the actual videos themselves with better quality, and I'm learning as I go on this video stuff, so just hang in there and bear with me. We did get a good bit done on these folders this week. I'm really close to having them all done. I've got some Dixons almost done. Got these cool side buster front flippers. Got a couple of those virtually done. Got a couple of these big boy F-mucks just about done. So I'll be able to, next week when we do our video, I'll be able to go through and show you a little more in-depth detail on all of them and stuff. And maybe talk a little bit about some of the stuff that I do a lot on them as far as the finishing details and stuff. But that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate it. We are going to be, I'll probably do a short little video, like a little announcement type video in a day or two, because we're about to launch a brand new website that's an actual e-commerce website, which I'm super excited about, to be able to start offering you guys a lot of these products, especially a lot of the merchandise and stuff, our patches and stuff we're doing on the laser, and we're going to have a lot of branded stuff, handkerchiefs, and just all kinds of stuff. So looking forward to, and got a little something, a special promotion that's going on with that. So I'm really excited to tell you guys about that. So that'll be coming up in a couple of days, and then we'll have another regular weekly in the shop video coming out next week, and we'll hope to see you guys then. As always, please, if you enjoyed it at all, please subscribe. Please give us some feedback, give us some comments, thumbs up, whatever you guys can handle. We'd appreciate it. So have a great week, and thanks a lot for watching.